Imagine a power, an ancient, dormant force buried deep within you, silent, hidden, yet infinitely potent. It has always been there, waiting in the shadows of your soul, untouched by the chaos of the world. A power capable of reshaping your reality, transforming your thoughts, and awakening a connection to the vast cosmic force that breathes life into all things. But for most, this power remains sealed, trapped behind walls of doubt, lost in the noise of a world that has forgotten the sacred. Yet there are moments, fleeting whispers that stir within you, moments of intuition, flashes of insight, an inexplicable sense that you are more than just this body, more than just a name. These are not illusions, but glimpses of a truth long forgotten. Beyond the veils of ordinary existence lies an ancient wisdom, a wisdom that speaks not of turning lead into gold, but of something far greater. The teachings of Hermetic alchemy. A sacred knowledge passed down through the ages, not as mere superstition, but as a path to transforming the soul itself. The alchemists of old were not mere chemists, they were seekers, guardians of a hidden flame, keepers of the forgotten truths. They understood that true alchemy is the art of inner transformation, of turning darkness into light, fear into strength, and ignorance into wisdom. They spoke of 15 sacred codes, secrets etched in the fabric of the cosmos, each one a key to unlocking the vast, dormant power within you. But this power is not reserved for the chosen few. It is your birthright, a gift woven into the essence of your being, a cosmic inheritance waiting to be claimed. And the path to awakening it is hidden within these ancient codes, each one a step, each one a revelation, each one a gateway to your true cosmic potential. You are not here by chance. You are here because your soul has heard the call, because you are ready, ready to awaken, ready to remember, ready to reclaim the power that has always been yours. This is your journey, a journey through the sacred mysteries of Hermetic alchemy, a journey to activate the cosmic force within you. The soul as the artisan of reality. Imagine for a moment that reality is not a solid, unchanging force pressing down upon you, but a vast, malleable canvas, an ever-shifting tapestry woven by the threads of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. What if the world you perceive is not something that simply happens to you, but something that emerges from within you, sculpted by your soul, painted by your consciousness? This is not a poetic fantasy. This is an ancient truth, one known to the adepts of Hermetic alchemy, the mystics who saw beyond the surface of existence and understood a sacred law. As within, so without. Your soul is not a passive observer, drifting aimlessly through the cosmos. It is an artisan, an eternal creator, shaping the world around you through the quiet whispers of your thoughts, the silent currents of your feelings, and the radiant energy of your intentions. Every breath you take, every heartbeat, every fleeting moment of joy or sorrow, these are the strokes of a cosmic brush, painting the masterpiece of your existence. But in a world drowned by noise and distraction, this truth is forgotten. You have been taught to see yourself as a mere pawn, a victim of circumstances, a creature of fate, tossed by the winds of an indifferent universe. You have been told that the world is a solid, external reality, rigid and unchangeable, a stage on which you must play a part, written by forces beyond your control. But this is an illusion, a dream that you have been lulled into by a world that has lost its memory of the sacred. In truth, the world is a mirror, a vast cosmic mirror reflecting the depths of your soul. And as you look into this mirror, what you see is not something separate from you, but a reflection of the energies that pulse within you. Consider this. When you are filled with fear, does not the world seem dark and threatening? When you are consumed by doubt, does not every path appear shrouded in mist? And yet in moments of peace, when your heart is clear and your soul is calm, does not the world shine with a quiet golden light? These are not accidents, they are echoes, ripples, in the great sea of existence, born from the stillness or the storm within you. The ancient Hermetic masters understood this truth, and they spoke of the soul as the artisan of reality, a force capable of bending the fabric of existence through the sheer power of intention. They taught that every thought you hold, every emotion you nurture, every silent belief you cling to is a thread woven into the tapestry of your life. You are not a prisoner of fate. You are a creator, a weaver of realities, an alchemist of existence. But this power is not unlocked through mere wishful thinking. It requires awareness, an awakening to the sacred truth that your inner world is the source of all that you experience. It requires stillness, listening to the silent whispers of your soul, feeling the currents of your own energy, and recognizing that every moment is an act of creation. The world will tell you to chase after external things, wealth, fame, status, believing that these are the keys to happiness. But the ancient adepts knew that true power lies within, that before you can change the outer world, you must first transform the inner. For reality is not a fortress to be conquered, it is a mirror to be understood. And so as you step onto the path of Hermetic alchemy, your first task is to awaken to your true nature as the artisan of your own reality, to see that your thoughts are not mere shadows, but the brushstrokes of creation, that your emotions are not mere sensations, but waves in the vast ocean of consciousness, that your beliefs are not mere ideas, but the foundations upon which your world is built. For as within, so without, as above, so below. The world you see is but a reflection of the world within you. But how do you begin? How do you reclaim this power? How do you become the conscious creator of your life rather than a passive spectator? You begin with stillness, with a journey within, an exploration of the sacred temple of your own soul. Practical exercise, guided meditation. Awaken the artisan. Within, find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Allow your mind to settle like the surface of a still pond. Visualize your inner temple. Imagine yourself standing before a grand ancient temple, its pillars glowing with a soft golden light. This is the temple of your soul, the sacred space where your thoughts become reality. Enter with reverence. As you step through the great doors, feel a sense of awe, a quiet, sacred energy embracing you. See the mirror of creation. At the heart of this temple stands a radiant mirror, a vast, glowing surface that reflects not your physical form, but the light and shadows of your inner world. Observe with compassion. Gaze into this mirror. What do you see? Are there storms of fear, or is there a calm, golden light? Are there shadows of doubt, or the soft glow of peace? Awaken the artisan. As you breathe, whisper to yourself, I am the artisan of my reality. As within, so without. Breathe light into your soul. Imagine a gentle, radiant light flowing from the mirror into your heart, filling you with peace, clarity, and creative power. Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes, carrying with you the quiet knowing that you are the creator of your own reality. This is your first sacred code of Hermetic alchemy. A truth that has been whispered through the ages, a revelation that has the power to transform your life. You are not a victim of the world. You are the artisan of your reality. The law of vibration. Everything you see, touch, and experience in this vast, mysterious universe is not solid, not truly. Beneath the surface of all things there is a secret, a silent truth known to the ancient alchemists and mystics. A truth whispered in the quiet spaces of your soul. Everything is vibration. You have been taught to see the world as a collection of fixed, solid objects, trees, mountains, stars, your own body. But this is an illusion. In truth, all things are energy, and all energy vibrates. The stars that light up the heavens, the oceans that dance beneath the moon, the thoughts that pass through your mind, each is a wave, a frequency, a vibration, moving through the infinite sea of existence. This is the sacred truth of the law of vibration, an ancient principle that reveals the hidden nature of reality. It tells you that everything, every thought, every emotion, every belief is a vibration. And these vibrations do not simply exist within you, they radiate outward like ripples in a vast cosmic ocean, touching the world around you, shaping your reality. When you feel joy, you emit a high, radiant frequency, like the soft glow of dawn, spreading warmth wherever you go. When you are gripped by fear, your vibration sinks, heavy, cold, like the shadows that creep through an empty hall. These are not merely sensations. They are frequencies, each one creating a resonance within the universe itself. But this truth is not meant to inspire fear. It is meant to awaken power. For if everything is vibration, then the world around you is not a prison. It is a reflection, a mirror that dances to the frequency you hold within. Change your vibration, and you change the world around you. This is the secret of the ancient adepts, the wisdom of those who walked the sacred path of Hermetic alchemy. They understood that true transformation does not begin in the outer world, but within the silent depths of your soul. To change your life, you must first change your vibration. But how do you do this? How do you transform the subtle, invisible waves of energy that flow within you? It begins with awareness, an awakening to the truth that your thoughts are not empty whispers, but frequencies that ripple through the cosmos, that your emotions are not mere sensations, but radiant currents that color the fabric of your reality, that your beliefs are not passive ideas, but powerful vibrations that sculpt the world you experience. Take a moment to look within. When your mind is clouded with doubt, does not the world seem dull and uncertain? When your heart is weighed down by sorrow, does not everything you touch feel heavy? But in those rare moments of joy, when your soul is light and free, does not the world shine with a quiet, golden light? This is not coincidence. It is resonance. It is the dance of vibrations, the great cosmic song in which you are both the singer and the listener. The ancient masters taught that your vibration is not fixed. It is fluid, ever-shifting, responding to the thoughts you choose, the emotions you nurture, and the beliefs you hold. If you wish to change your reality, you must first become the master of your own vibration. But this is not a matter of forced positivity. It is not about denying your pain, hiding your fear, or pretending to be something you are not. True mastery begins with acceptance, with a quiet, gentle awareness of the vibrations you carry within. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the quiet hum of your own energy. Are there currents of peace, or are there storms of anxiety? Are you filled with light, or does a shadow cling to your heart? Do not judge, simply observe. For this is the first step to transformation. Awareness. And then you must choose. Choose the thoughts that nourish you, the emotions that uplift you, the beliefs that empower you. Understand that your mind is not a chaotic storm. It is an instrument, a sacred harp whose strings you can tune. And with each gentle, conscious choice, you begin to raise your vibration, to resonate with the sacred light that dances at the heart of all things. But this journey is not a single step. It is a practice, a sacred art. It is the quiet discipline of choosing peace in moments of chaos, of holding gratitude in the face of despair, of breathing light into the shadows of your own soul. For as you change your vibration, you become a beacon, a radiant light that transforms the world around you. Like a quiet, golden sun rising over the misty mountains, your energy begins to touch everything it encounters, healing, uplifting, creating. This is the power of the law of vibration, a sacred code of Hermetic alchemy that reveals the hidden power within you, a power that you have always held, even if you did not know it. But understanding is not enough. You must feel it, you must practice it, you must live it. And so you will now awaken this power within you, not through theory, but through experience. Practical exercise, vibration, awareness, practice. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Take a deep breath, letting your body relax. Become aware of your inner vibration. Focus on your body. Feel the subtle energy within. Do you sense lightness, heaviness, warmth, or cold? Do not judge. Simply observe. Observe your thoughts. Allow your thoughts to rise and fall. Are they filled with peace, or are they tainted with doubt? Each thought is a vibration. Notice them without attachment. Feel your emotions. Gently bring your awareness to your heart. What emotions are present? Joy, sorrow, anger, or peace? Understand that each emotion is a frequency, a wave of energy that radiates from within you. Choose your vibration. Imagine a radiant golden light within your heart, a warm, gentle glow that begins to expand, filling your entire being. As this light grows, it dissolves any darkness, any fear, any doubt. Whisper quietly, I am the master of my vibration. I choose peace. I choose light. Anchor this feeling. Take a few deep breaths, feeling this light become steady and strong within you. Know that you can return to this space whenever you choose. Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes, carrying with you quiet knowing that your vibration is a sacred power, a force that shapes your reality. This is your second sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to transform not only your life, but the world you touch. You are not a prisoner of circumstance. You are a radiant force, a living frequency, a cosmic song woven into the great symphony of existence. The mirror of correspondence. Look around you. The world you see, the sky above, the earth beneath, the faces you encounter, the paths you walk, is not merely an external reality. It is a reflection, a vast silent mirror that reveals the hidden depths of your own soul. This is the ancient wisdom of Hermetic alchemy, captured in a single sacred phrase. As above, so below. As within, so without. But what does this truly mean? It means that the universe is not separate from you. It means that the stars that burn in the heavens are but the radiant sparks of your own consciousness. That the mountains, the rivers, the endless dance of creation, each is a reflection of the energies that flow within you. This is not a poetic metaphor. It is a truth, a sacred law of existence. What you hold within your heart, your mind, and your soul does not remain hidden. It radiates outward, shaping the world you perceive, weaving the very fabric of your experience. Consider a lake, calm, clear, and still. It reflects the sky above with perfect clarity. The blue heavens, the drifting clouds, the golden rays of the sun all appear as they are. But disturb the surface, cast a stone, and the image shatters. Ripples distort the reflection, turning light into chaos. Your inner world is like this lake. When your soul is calm, clear, and at peace, your reality reflects that peace. Your relationships are harmonious, your path is clear, your heart is light. But when you are troubled, when fear, anger, or doubt stirs within you the world around, you seems restless, chaotic, and unforgiving. This is the secret of the mirror of correspondence. Your thoughts are not hidden whispers, they are ripples that dance across the lake of reality. Your emotions are not silent shadows, they are colors that paint the canvas of your existence. Your beliefs are not passive ideas, they are the very patterns that shape the reflection of your world. But you have forgotten this. You have been taught to see yourself as a victim of circumstance, a mere pawn in the hands of fate. You have been led to believe that the world is an external force, an unyielding fortress that you must conquer or escape. Yet this is an illusion, a dream you have been lulled into by a world that has forgotten the sacred. In truth, the world you see is your own reflection. Every person you encounter is a mirror showing you the unhealed wounds and hidden light within your soul. Every challenge you face is a teacher revealing the lessons you have yet to learn. Every joy, every sorrow, every fleeting moment of beauty is a whisper, a reminder of the great cosmic dance between the inner and the outer, the seen and the unseen. But understanding this truth is not enough. You must awaken to it. You must see the mirror for what it is, not as a prison, but as a guide. For just as the lake reflects the sky, your world reflects your soul. If you wish to change the outer world, you must first transform the inner. This is the wisdom of the ancient adepts. They did not seek to conquer the world, they sought to master themselves. They knew that to heal the world, they must first heal their hearts. To bring light to the darkness, they must first kindle the sacred flame within. Look around you. What do you see? Are your days filled with conflict? Does chaos seem to follow you? Or does peace embrace your steps? Do you encounter kindness, or are you met with judgment? These are not random events. They are reflections, echoes of the thoughts you nurture, the emotions you harbor, the beliefs you cling to. But do not despair, for this is not a curse, it is a revelation. It means that you are not powerless, you are not a victim of fate. You are a creator, a weaver of realities, an alchemist of existence. The world is your mirror, and in that mirror you can see the hidden truths of your own soul. But how do you begin? How do you transform the mirror of your reality? It begins with stillness, with the quiet, sacred art of self-reflection. Just as you would polish a tarnished mirror to reveal a clear reflection, you must cleanse the hidden depths of your soul, wash away the shadows of fear,
dissolve the stains of anger, illuminate the darkness of ignorance. Take a moment, breathe, feel the quiet hum of your own being. Know that the world you see is not something that happens to you. It is something that emerges from within you. You are both the observer and the creator, both the mirror and the light. The ancient masters taught that by transforming your inner world, you transform the outer. That by choosing peace, you create harmony. By embracing love, you radiate light. By nurturing wisdom, you see clearly. This is not mere philosophy, it is a sacred, living practice. A practice that begins with awareness and deepens with intention. Practical exercise, reflection. Practice. Awaken the mirror. Within find a quiet space. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Take a deep breath, allowing your body to relax. Visualize your mirror. Imagine yourself standing before a vast, radiant mirror, its surface clear, glowing with a soft golden light. This is the mirror of your soul, the sacred reflection of your inner world. Observe your reflection. What do you see in this mirror? Are there shadows of fear, or is there a gentle light of peace? Are there storms of anger, or a quiet glow of love? Do not judge, simply observe. Recognize the connection. Whisper to yourself, as within, so without, as above, so below. Understand that the world you see is but a reflection of the world within you. Transform the reflection. Gently touch the mirror with your hand, and as you do, imagine a warm, radiant light spreading across its surface, clearing the darkness, dissolving the shadows, illuminating every corner with a soft, golden glow. Embrace your power. Whisper again, I am the creator of my reality. By healing within, I transform the world. Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes. Look around you, not with fear, but with wisdom. See the world as your mirror, and know that by transforming within, you can change the world. You experience, this is your third sacred code of Hermetic alchemy. A truth that has the power to change your life, not through force, but through understanding. You are not a prisoner of your circumstances. You are the light that dances in the
mirror of existence.
The power of silence. There is a place beyond the noise, a sacred space where the world falls away, where thoughts dissolve like mist in the morning light. A place where you are not defined by the endless chatter of your mind or the restless echoes
of the world. This is the realm of silence, not the mere absence of sound, but the presence of a profound, sacred stillness. But you have forgotten this silence. You live in a world that fears the quiet, that drowns you in a constant storm of
distractions, opinions, and endless noise. From the moment you wake, the world rushes to fill your mind. Messages, voices, news, worries, each a thread in a tangled web that pulls you away from yourself. Yet the ancient masters of Hermetic alchemy knew a truth that the world has forgotten. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is the womb of creation, the sacred space from which all things arise. It is the stillness within which the cosmos sings. It is the quiet void where wisdom is born, where truth is revealed, and where your soul can finally be heard. In this world of noise, you have become a stranger to yourself. You have learned to seek answers in the chaos, to chase after wisdom in the endless stream of words and images, but the greatest truths cannot be found in the noise. They dwell in the silence, waiting for you to listen. Imagine a vast, ancient, Forest at dawn, mist curling between the towering trees, a soft, golden light filtering through the leaves. In this stillness you can hear the faintest whisper, the rustling of a single leaf, the quiet song of a distant bird, the gentle breath of the earth itself. This is the power of silence. It reveals what is hidden. It amplifies the subtle. It brings clarity where there was confusion. Your soul is like this forest. Beneath the endless chatter of your thoughts, beneath the ceaseless murmurs of your doubts, there is a sacred stillness, a place where the light of wisdom shines, where the voice of your true self can be heard. But to reach this place, you must be willing to enter the silence, to step away from the noise, to surrender the need to speak, to listen not with your ears but with your soul. The ancient adept knew this. They would sit in quiet meditation, not seeking answers, but allowing the answers to arise. They would enter sacred temples, not to speak, but to listen, to the silent whispers of the cosmos, to the quiet pulse of their own hearts. They understood that in the stillness they could touch the divine. But silence is not always comfortable. At first, it may feel like emptiness, a hollow, uneasy space where you are left alone with your thoughts, your fears, your restless mind. You may find yourself longing for distraction, for noise, for something to fill the void. But this discomfort is a gift, a mirror that reveals the chaos you carry within. And if you have the courage to stay, if you can surrender to the silence without running, something miraculous begins to happen. The chaos settles, the storm of thoughts fades, a quiet clarity begins to emerge like the first light of dawn. And in that clarity you begin to see the truth of who you are, the truth of your desires, the truth of the world around you. This is the power of silence. It is a sacred doorway, one that leads not outward but inward. It is here that you touch the essence of your soul, that you hear the whispers of your own wisdom, that you connect with the quiet, infinite light that dwells within you. But how do you enter this silence? How do you touch this sacred stillness in a world that seems determined to drown you in noise? It begins with a simple choice, a choice to step away, to turn off the endless stream of distractions, to close your eyes and breathe. It begins with a willingness to listen not to the world, but to the quiet whispers of your own soul. Understand this. Silence is not something you create, it is something you allow. It is always there, beneath the noise, beneath the chaos, beneath the endless stories of your mind. It is the quiet light that shines even in the darkest night, the sacred space that remains untouched by the storms of thought. Take a moment now. Close your eyes, breathe, listen, not with your ears, but with your soul. Beneath the thoughts, beneath the feelings, beneath the stories, there is a quiet hum, a gentle, radiant stillness that has always been there. This is your true nature. This is the light of your soul, the sacred silence where all wisdom is revealed. But silence is not just a place to visit, it is a power to be embraced, a force to be cultivated. It is the stillness that brings clarity, the emptiness that reveals the truth, the quiet space where all things are possible. When you learn to touch this silence, you become free. Free from the endless noise of the world, free from the restless voices of fear and doubt, free to hear the quiet song of your own soul. This is your fourth sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to transform your life, not through noise, but through stillness, practical exercise. Silent alignment. Practice. Embrace inner stillness, find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax, letting go of any tension. Disconnect from the outer noise. Turn off any devices, close the door, and allow yourself a moment of complete stillness. Become aware of the silence. Listen, not to the sounds around you, but to the quiet space between them. Notice the gentle hum of silence that always exists, even when the world is loud. Release the inner noise. As thoughts arise, do not fight them. Simply observe them like clouds drifting across the sky. Let them come and let them go. Enter the sacred silence. Gently shift your focus inward. Feel the quiet space within your heart, a warm, radiant light that glows softly. This is your sacred stillness, your inner sanctuary. Whisper a sacred truth. Quietly in your mind, repeat the words. In silence, I find clarity. In stillness, I hear the voice of my soul. Return with peace. After a few minutes, open your eyes slowly. Carry this quiet light within you, knowing that even in the chaos of the world, this sacred silence is always within reach. This is your fourth sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that reveals a power the world has forgotten, a power not of noise but of quiet, radiant stillness. You are not lost in the chaos. You are the quiet light in the storm. The triple nature of the human being look within. Beneath the mask of your name, beyond the memories you carry, deeper than the thoughts that rise and fall within you, there is a mystery, a sacred truth whispered through the ages by the ancient.
Adepts of Hermetic alchemy, you are not one, but three: body, soul, spirit. These are not mere words.
They are the sacred trinity of your being, the three radiant flames that weave together the tapestry of who you are. To understand them is to awaken to your true nature. To align them is to unlock your cosmic power, but you have forgotten this. Sacred Trinity. You have been taught to see yourself as a single, solid identity, a body that thinks, a mind that feels, a name that defines. Yet this is an illusion, a shadow cast by a world that has lost its memory of the sacred. In truth, you are a triune being, a living reflection of the great cosmic trinity, a mirror of the divine. And each part of your being, body, soul, and spirit, has its own purpose, its own wisdom, its own sacred power. The body, the sacred temple. Your body is not merely flesh and bone. It is a sacred vessel, a temple woven from the elements of the earth, a bridge between the visible and the invisible. It is the garden where the seeds of your thoughts take root, the sacred altar where the energy of life dances, but the world has taught you to see your body as a burden, a prison of flesh, a thing to be judged, shamed, or ignored. Yet the ancient masters knew that the body is a sacred gift, a living, breathing instrument of divine experience. Your body is not your enemy. It is your ally, your guide, your sacred home. It is through your senses that you touch the world, through your breath, that you dance with life, through your heartbeat, that you hear the quiet rhythm of existence. But your body is only one part of the sacred trinity. Beyond it, there is another light, a quiet, radiant flame that whispers within you. The soul, the sacred mirror. Your soul is the bridge between worlds, the silent, shimmering light that connects the earth to the heavens, the seen to the unseen. It is the quiet voice of intuition that whispers in your moments of doubt, the flicker of inspiration that dances in your dreams. But the world has taught you to silence this voice, to drown it in noise, to dismiss it as mere imagination. Yet the ancient adepts knew that the soul is the true artisan of your reality, the weaver of thoughts, the painter of emotions, the silent creator of your world. Your soul is not a shadow, it is a radiant light, a sacred mirror that reflects the truth of who you are. It is here that your dreams are born, your passions awakened, your inner wisdom revealed. Yet even this is not the whole of your being. Beyond the soul, beyond the mirror, there is a light even more profound, the spirit, the divine spark. Your spirit is the essence of your being, the eternal flame that cannot be touched by time, suffering, or death. It is the divine spark within you, the sacred breath of the cosmos, the infinite light that shines even in the darkest night. It is here that you are one with the infinite, that you touch the sacred truth of existence, that you remember who you truly are. It is the still, silent center of your being, the light that guides, the peace that endures, the love that cannot be destroyed, body, soul, and spirit. 3 sacred flames, 3 radiant lights, 3 aspects of your being. But they are not meant to exist in isolation. They are meant to dance together, to harmonize, to align, to become one. But in a world of chaos, you have forgotten this harmony. Your body is filled with tension, disconnected from the wisdom of your soul. Your soul is clouded by doubt, cut off from the light of your spirit. And your spirit, radiant, eternal, remains a distant whisper, hidden beneath the noise. Yet the ancient masters knew a secret, a sacred art known as the harmony of the 3. They understood that to awaken your cosmic power, you must not deny your body, ignore your soul, or forget your spirit. You must bring them together, unite them in sacred harmony. Imagine a grand ancient temple, its towering pillars glowing with golden light, a sacred flame burning at its heart. This temple is you. Your body is the sacred ground, your soul is the radiant light, and your spirit is the eternal flame that shines within. But how do you align them? How do you awaken this sacred trinity within you? It begins with awareness, seeing that you are not a single, isolated being, but a radiant dance of 3 sacred lights. It deepens with reverence, honoring your body as a sacred temple, your soul as a divine mirror, your spirit as an eternal flame. But most importantly, it is awakened through stillness, through a quiet, sacred practice that brings these 3 aspects of your being into perfect harmony. Practical exercise, guided visualization. Harmonizing body, soul, and spirit. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax, letting go of any tension. Visualize your sacred temple. Imagine yourself standing before a grand, ancient temple, its pillars radiant with a soft, golden light. This temple is you. Step inside the temple. As you enter, feel a quiet, sacred energy embracing you. Ahead of you, a radiant altar glows with 3 sacred flames. Awaken the flame of the body. Focus on the first flame. See it burning with a warm, earthy glow. Whisper gently, "My body is my sacred temple. It is strong. It is sacred. It is alive." Feel a sense of gratitude for your body, its strength, its wisdom, its silent support. Awaken the flame of the soul. Shift your focus to the second flame. It shines with a soft, silver light, calm, radiant, and gentle. Whisper softly, "My soul is my sacred light. It is wise, it is radiant, it is free." Feel a quiet peace within, a deep connection to your inner light. Awaken the flame of the spirit. Finally, focus on the third flame, a brilliant, golden light, warm and infinite. Whisper with reverence, "My spirit is my eternal flame. It is divine. It is infinite. It is one with all." Feel this light embracing you, filling you with a quiet, sacred peace. Unite the three flames. As you breathe, see the three flames
merging, becoming one radiant light that surrounds you, fills you, and shines within you.
Whisper gently, "I am body, soul, and spirit. I am whole. I am complete." Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes. Carry this sacred light within you, knowing that you are not a divided being, but a radiant, triune soul, a sacred dance of body, soul, and spirit. This is your fifth sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to transform your life by awakening the sacred harmony within you. You are not a prisoner of the flesh. You are not a ghost.
Lost in the darkness, you are a sacred trinity, a radiant dance of body, soul, and spirit.
The alchemy of emotions. There is a storm that rages within you, a silent, swirling dance of light and shadow. It is a force that has the power to lift you to the heights of joy or plunge you into the depths of despair. It is a power that you have felt in every heartbeat, in every breath, in every quiet moment when your soul trembled with joy, fear, love, or sorrow. This is the realm of emotion, a sacred, untamed energy that pulses within you. But what if I told you that your emotions
Are not your enemies?
that they are not mere distractions to be silenced or burdens to be banished? What if I told you that they are the raw material of transformation, the sacred fire of alchemy through which your soul is refined? This is the ancient truth of the alchemy of emotions, a truth whispered by the adepts of Hermetic wisdom, a secret known to those who walk the sacred path of inner transformation. It is a truth that reveals the hidden power within you, that your emotions are not a curse, but a gift, a radiant, living energy that can be transmuted, transformed, and awakened. But in a world that fears the depths, you have been taught to hide your emotions, to deny them, to bury them beneath a mask of false calm. You have learned to see your tears as weakness, your anger as a shameful burden, your joy as a fleeting illusion. Yet the ancient masters knew that true power is not found in the absence of emotion, but in the mastery of it. For your emotions are like molten gold, fiery, untamed, raw. They are the sacred flame of transformation, the living essence of your soul, the silent whispers of your spirit speaking through the language of feeling. But they are also a mirror, a reflection of your inner world, a sacred guide that reveals the truths you have buried, the wounds you have ignored, the light you have forgotten. They are not random storms, they are sacred messages, each one a call to awareness, each one an invitation to awaken. Yet most people are prisoners of their emotions. They are dragged by the currents of fear, consumed by the flames of anger, drowned in the shadows of sorrow. They see their emotions as chains, not realizing that these chains can be transformed into wings. But the ancient adepts of Hermetic alchemy knew a secret, a sacred art known as emotional alchemy. They understood that emotions are not enemies to be destroyed, but energies to be transformed. They are the raw material of inner transformation, the sacred fire through which the soul is purified. But how do you transform emotion? How do you turn the lead of sorrow into the gold of wisdom? How do you transmute the poison of anger into the elixir of clarity? It begins with awareness, with the quiet, courageous art of feeling without fear. It begins with the understanding that your emotions are not something that happens to you. They are something that arises from within you, a reflection of your inner world, a whisper of your soul. Imagine a grand, ancient alchemist's chamber, its walls lined with sacred symbols, a radiant fire burning at the center. Before you, an ancient cauldron glows with a warm golden light. In this cauldron, all things can be transformed. Lead can become gold. Poison can become medicine. Darkness can become light. This cauldron is your heart, and the sacred fire that burns within it is your awareness, the quiet, radiant light of your soul that has the power to transform any emotion, no matter how dark, into a source of wisdom, strength, and peace. But to begin this sacred work, you must understand a simple truth. Emotions are not solid. They are energy, vibrant, living, flowing, and like any energy, they can be transformed. Fear can become courage, sorrow can become compassion, anger can become clarity, joy can become wisdom. But this transformation does not happen by denying your feelings, by silencing them, or by drowning them in distractions. It happens through a sacred process, through the quiet, powerful art of emotional alchemy. To transform your emotions, you must first feel them, not as a victim, but as an alchemist. You must become the silent observer of your own heart, the radiant light that shines in the darkness, the sacred flame that purifies without destroying. Close your eyes for a moment. Look within. What do you feel? Is there fear, cold, heavy, and sharp? Is there anger, fiery, restless, and wild? Is there sorrow, soft, deep, and heavy? Do not run, do not turn away. Allow yourself to feel, but do so with a quiet, sacred awareness. Understand that your emotions are not your enemies. They are energies, waves that rise and fall within you, whispers of your soul that speak in the language of feeling. But you are not these emotions. You are the light that witnesses them. You are the sacred flame that can transform them. This is the first secret of emotional alchemy. Awareness is the sacred fire. It is the light that reveals, the warmth that transforms, the clarity that turns darkness into light. The second secret is acceptance. For transformation cannot happen in denial. To turn sorrow into wisdom, you must first allow yourself to feel the sorrow. To transform anger into clarity, you must first recognize the flame of anger without shame. And the third secret is intention, the quiet, sacred choice to transform, to awaken, to transmute. It is the silent whisper within you that says, I choose to transform, I choose to awaken, I choose to turn this darkness into light. But these secrets are not mere words, they are a practice, a sacred art that must be lived, felt, and experienced. Practical exercise, emotional alchemy. Technique, transforming emotions into wisdom. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax, letting go of any tension. Become aware of your emotions. Gently bring your awareness to your heart. What do you feel? Joy, sorrow, fear, anger? Do not judge, simply observe. Name the emotion. Whisper gently to yourself, I feel emotion. For example, I feel sadness, or I feel anger. This simple act of naming brings awareness. Accept the emotion. Whisper quietly, "It is okay to feel this." Understand that your emotion is not a curse. It is a message, an energy, a reflection of your inner world. Visualize the sacred cauldron. Imagine a radiant golden cauldron within your heart, a warm, glowing light that can transform anything placed within it. Offer the emotion to the flame. See your emotion as a glowing,
Radiant energy, fiery for anger, cold for fear, heavy for sorrow.
Gently place this energy into the cauldron. Transform the emotion. As the emotion touches the sacred flame, see it changing. Anger becoming a clear, radiant light of understanding, sorrow becoming a soft, warm glow of compassion, fear becoming a gentle, golden light of courage. Whisper your intention. Quietly speak. I choose to transform this energy. I choose to awaken. Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes, carrying with you the quiet knowing that your emotions are not your enemies. They are your sacred allies, your raw material for transformation. This is your sixth sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to turn suffering into strength, darkness into light, emotion into wisdom. You are not a prisoner of your emotions. You are an alchemist, a weaver of energies, a master of inner transformation. The sacred law of polarity, look around you. Everywhere you turn, you see a dance, a silent, sacred dance of opposites. Day turns to night. Light gives way to shadow. Joy rises and sorrow falls. Birth is followed by death, and within every end, there is a hidden beginning. This is the ancient truth of the sacred law of polarity, a truth whispered through the ages by the adepts of Hermetic alchemy. But what does this truly mean? It means that all things have their opposites, that the universe is a vast, radiant mirror in which every light casts a shadow and every shadow hides a light. It means that everything you experience, everything you feel, is part of a sacred dance between two poles. But you have forgotten this dance. You live in a world that fears one side and chases the other, a world that seeks only pleasure and denies pain, that clings to joy and rejects sorrow, that worships light but fears the
Dark.
Yet the ancient masters knew a secret, a sacred truth that the world has forgotten. To master one side, you must first embrace its opposite. This is the wisdom of the sacred law of polarity. It reveals that light and darkness are not enemies, they are partners. That joy and sorrow are not contradictions, they are companions. That strength and weakness, courage and fear, hope and despair, these are not separate forces but two sides of the same sacred coin. But how does this affect your
Life? It means that every experience you fear, every emotion you deny, every shadow you run from is not an enemy. It is a teacher.
It is a mirror showing you a hidden truth, a forgotten light that lies within the darkness. Imagine a radiant sun shining in the sky, its light warm, golden and bright. But as the sun rises, shadows are cast, yet these shadows are not separate from the light. They are its silent companions, born from its radiant glow. This is the truth of polarity. Light gives birth to shadow, and shadow reveals the presence of light. But in your life, you have been taught to fear the shadows, to deny the darkness within you. You have learned to hide your pain, to silence your sorrow, to wear a mask of endless joy, even as your heart trembles in quiet despair. You have become a prisoner, not of darkness, but of your own denial. But the ancient adepts knew a secret, a sacred art known as the embrace of opposites. They understood that true mastery is not the denial of darkness, but the awakening of light within it. They saw that peace is not found by escaping suffering, but by understanding it, by walking through the shadows with a quiet, radiant light. But how do you embrace polarity? How do you find peace in a world of opposites? It begins with awareness, an awakening to the truth that your life is a dance between two sacred forces. That joy is not the opposite of sorrow. It is its silent companion. That courage is not the absence of fear. It is the light that shines within it. That strength is not the denial of weakness. It is the quiet resilience that rises from within it. Take a moment, breathe, look within. Where do you see polarity in your life? Where do you cling to one side and deny the other? Do you chase happiness and fear sadness? Do you seek light but run from the darkness? Understand this. To know light, you must walk through shadow. To know peace, you must touch chaos. To awaken to your true power, you must embrace both sides of the sacred dance. But this is not merely philosophy, it is a living practice, a sacred art that begins with a quiet, courageous choice, the choice to see both sides, to feel both sides, to awaken to the hidden wisdom within them. Imagine yourself standing before a vast, radiant mirror. On one side you see a brilliant light, warm, golden and soothing, but as you look closer, you see that this light casts a shadow, a soft, quiet darkness that dances at its edges. Yet this darkness is not a threat. It is a quiet, sacred space where the light finds form, where it is made real. This is the dance of polarity, the silent truth that light and darkness are not enemies, but partners. And to awaken your cosmic power, you must learn to embrace both. But how do you do this? How do you walk through the shadows without fear? How do you touch darkness without being consumed? It begins with stillness, with the quiet, sacred art of seeing without judgment, feeling without denial, embracing without fear. Practical exercise, polarity awareness. Practice embracing both sides. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax, letting go of any tension. Visualize the mirror of polarity. Imagine yourself standing before a vast, radiant mirror. On one side, you see a brilliant light, warm, golden, and
radiant. On the other, you see a soft, quiet shadow, cool, calm, and still. Observe the dance of opposites. Look at the light.
what do you feel? Joy, peace, strength? Now look at the shadow. What do you feel? Fear, sadness, doubt? Do not judge. Simply observe. Embrace both sides. Whisper gently to yourself. I am both light and shadow. I am both joy and sorrow. I am whole. Understand that you do not need to deny one side to embrace the other. See the unity. Imagine the light and shadow merging, dancing together, swirling, becoming one radiant, glowing energy. This is the truth of polarity, the silent, sacred dance of opposites. Awaken your balance. Whisper quietly, I embrace both sides. I am the light within the darkness. I am the calm within the storm. Feel a quiet, radiant peace within you, a peace that comes not from escaping one side, but from embracing both. Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes, carrying with you the quiet knowing that you are not a prisoner of polarity. You are the sacred balance, the silent light that dances between opposites. This is your seventh sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to transform your life by awakening you to the silent dance of opposites within you. You are not just light. You are not just shadow. You are the radiant dance between them, the silent stillness at the heart of both. The power of symbols. There is a language older than words, a silent script written in the stars, whispered in the wind, etched into the sacred stones of ancient temples. It is a language that speaks not to your mind, but to your soul. A language
of symbols. And if you understand this language, you possess a key, a sacred key that can unlock the hidden depths of your own consciousness. But what are symbols?
They are not mere decorations, not simple designs to be admired. Symbols are sacred portals, gateways that connect the visible to the invisible, the known to the unknown. They are the silent language of the universe, a radiant bridge between the world of form and the world of spirit. In ancient times, the adepts of Hermetic alchemy knew this truth. They filled their sacred texts with symbols, circles, triangles, serpents, suns and stars, not as mere illustrations, but as living codes, each one a whisper of hidden wisdom. The alchemical Ouroboros, a serpent devouring its own tail, was not just an image. It was a revelation, a sacred truth that all things are one, that death is a doorway, that every ending is a new beginning. But in a world that has forgotten the sacred, you have been taught to see symbols as mere designs, empty shapes without meaning. You have been trained to look but not to see, to read but not to understand. And yet deep within you, your soul remembers. It remembers that symbols are not just images, they are living keys that unlock the gates of ancient wisdom. But how is this possible? How can a mere image hold such power? It is because symbols do not speak to your rational mind. They speak directly to your subconscious, the silent depths of your soul, where thoughts become energy, where beliefs become reality. Your rational mind is like a locked door, guarded, skeptical, always questioning. But your subconscious is an open sea, a vast, silent ocean of memories, emotions, dreams, and hidden truths. And symbols are the keys that unlock this ocean, bypassing the mind and awakening the soul. Consider the sacred symbol of the Eye of Horus, an ancient Egyptian glyph, a radiant eye crowned by a graceful, sweeping curve. To the rational mind, it is a mere design, but to your soul, it is a beacon, a symbol of divine insight, of inner vision, of the power to see beyond illusion. To look upon it is to awaken the quiet light of wisdom within you, or the lotus flower, a sacred symbol of transformation. Its delicate petals rise above the dark, muddy waters, radiant and pure. To the eye, it is a simple flower, but to the soul, it is a silent revelation, a reminder that even in the depths of suffering, there is a hidden light, a quiet purity that rises untouched. But symbols are not limited to ancient texts or sacred temples. They are all around you, whispers hidden. In the world, radiant lights that call to your soul. The sun rising over the mountains, the endless dance of the ocean waves, the quiet glow of a candle in the darkness. Each of these is a symbol, a silent teacher, a sacred message that speaks without words. But you have forgotten how to listen. You have learned to see only with your eyes, to hear only with your ears, to understand only with your mind. Yet the ancient adepts knew that true wisdom is not found in words. It is felt, it is seen, it is lived. It is awakened through symbols, but
how do you use this power? How do you unlock the ancient wisdom hidden within symbols?
it begins with awareness, with the quiet, sacred art of seeing, not with your eyes, but with your soul. Take a moment. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself standing in a grand, ancient temple, a vast hall bathed in soft golden light. The walls are covered in radiant symbols, circles, stars, radiant suns, coiled serpents, sacred eyes that seem to glow with a quiet, knowing light. These are not mere decorations. They are sacred keys, silent whispers of ancient wisdom. But as you stand here, something begins to change. The symbols begin to glow, to pulse with light, to whisper with a quiet, ancient energy. And as you look, you do not merely see, you understand. Each symbol becomes a message, a revelation, a whisper of truth that speaks directly to your soul. This is the power of symbols. It is the power to bypass the noise of the mind and touch the quiet light of your own consciousness. It is the power to awaken wisdom not through study but through experience, not through thinking but through feeling. But how do you unlock this power in your life? It begins with a simple, sacred practice, a practice of seeing beyond the surface, of listening beyond the noise, of feeling the silent energy of symbols. For symbols are not mere images, they are sacred mirrors. They reflect the truths you carry within the light and shadows of your own soul. And by awakening to their silent wisdom, you awaken to the hidden depths of your own being. Practical exercise, symbolic meditation. Unlocking inner wisdom, find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax, letting go of any tension. Choose a sacred symbol. You may choose a symbol that calls to you, a radiant sun, a crescent moon, a lotus flower, an ancient eye. If you do not have one in mind, imagine a simple, glowing circle, pure, radiant, and golden. Visualize the symbol. See this symbol glowing before you, radiant and clear. Do not merely look at it, feel it. Allow it to glow with a quiet, sacred light. Awaken inner wisdom. Whisper softly. This symbol is a key. It unlocks the wisdom within me. Allow yourself to feel a quiet, radiant energy awakening in your heart. Listen beyond words. Do not think. Simply observe. What feelings arise? What thoughts emerge? What insights flow into your awareness? Do not judge. Simply allow the wisdom to awaken. Reflect with reverence. Whisper gently, I am open to the wisdom of symbols. I am open to the light within me. Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes. Carry this quiet light within you, knowing that symbols are not mere images. They are sacred keys, radiant mirrors that reflect the truth within you. This is your 8th sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to awaken hidden wisdom, not through logic, but through the quiet, sacred art of seeing. You are not blind in the darkness. You are a soul who can see beyond the surface.
A seeker who can read the silent language of the universe.
The mystical art of transmutation alchemy. The word itself is wrapped in mystery. A whisper from the ancient world, a symbol of hidden knowledge, a sacred art whispered in the shadowed halls of forgotten temples. To the uninitiated, alchemy is a tale of sorcerers turning lead into gold, of secret laboratories and bubbling cauldrons. But this is a shadow of the truth, for true alchemy is not the transformation of metals, it is the transformation of the soul. It is the sacred art of
turning darkness into light, fear into strength, ignorance into wisdom.
It is the silent process through which the soul is refined, purified, and awakened. And you are the alchemist, but you have forgotten this sacred truth. You have been taught to see the world as something fixed, your identity as something solid, your fate as something written. You have learned to see yourself as a prisoner of your past, a creature of habit, a victim of circumstance, yet the ancient masters knew a secret that the world has forgotten. You are not the prisoner. You are the alchemist. And your life is the alchemical process. Imagine a vast, radiant furnace, its golden flames dancing with a quiet, sacred light. This is the sacred fire of alchemy, a flame that can transform anything it touches. Lead is cast into this fire, and from its darkness gold is born. But the true lead is not metal, it is the darkness within you. It is your fear, your doubt, your anger, your sorrow. And the true gold is not a treasure, it is the light of wisdom, the warmth of love, the radiance of peace, the quiet strength of your soul. But how do you begin this sacred work? How do you become the alchemist of your own soul? It begins with a single sacred truth. Nothing is fixed. Your thoughts are not solid. They are energy, flowing like rivers within you. Your emotions are not chains. They are currents, waves that rise and fall, dancing within your heart. Your beliefs are not prisons. They are mirrors, reflecting the light and shadows of your own consciousness. But in a world of chaos, you have learned to forget this truth. You have been taught to see yourself as a collection of rigid habits, unchanging patterns, inherited wounds. You have learned to say, "This is who I am. This is how it has always been." Yet the ancient adepts of Hermetic alchemy knew that everything can be transformed. They understood that within you is a sacred fire, a radiant light that can transform darkness into light, lead into gold, ignorance into wisdom. But this fire is not found in some distant temple. It is not hidden in ancient books. It is within you. It is your awareness, the quiet, radiant light of your own soul. And through this light, all things can be transformed. But transformation does not happen by force. You cannot destroy darkness by hating it. You cannot silence fear by running from it. You cannot banish sorrow by denying it. True transformation is not destruction, it is transmutation. It is the sacred art of turning one state into another,
of seeing the hidden light within the darkness. Imagine yourself standing before a grand ancient furnace, a radiant golden flame dancing before you.
In your hands, you hold a piece of dark, heavy lead, a symbol of your fear, your doubt, your anger. This is not a curse, it is the raw material of transformation. But as you cast this lead into the sacred fire, something begins to change. The darkness begins to melt, the shadows dissolve, the heavy lead is transformed. Slowly, quietly, it becomes radiant, glowing gold. This is the art of transmutation. It is the sacred process of taking the darkness within you and transforming it
into light. But how do you do this in your life?
How do you turn your fear into courage, your sorrow into wisdom, your anger into clarity? It begins with awareness, with the quiet, sacred art of seeing without judgment. When fear arises, do not run. When anger burns, do not deny. When sorrow falls, do not hide. Instead, become the silent alchemist. Observe, feel, and transform. The ancient masters taught that all emotions are energies, all thoughts are waves, all beliefs are reflections. And as the alchemist, you have the power to choose to transform these energies, to awaken their hidden light. But this is not mere philosophy. It is a sacred, living practice. A practice that begins with 3 sacred steps. Recognition. See the darkness for what it is. Fear is not your enemy. It is a call for courage. Anger is not a curse. It is a call for clarity. Sorrow is not a prison. It is a call for wisdom. Acceptance. Do not deny the darkness. Do not hide from your emotions. Allow yourself to feel them, but feel them with a quiet, sacred awareness, knowing that they are not solid, but fluid. That they are not prisons, but raw material for transformation. Transmutation. Whisper gently to yourself, I am the alchemist. I choose to transform. See the darkness as a sacred fire, a flame that can be transformed, purified, and awakened. Close your eyes for a moment. Look within. What do you see? Is there fear, a quiet, cold shadow? Is there anger, a fiery, restless light? Is there sorrow, a soft, heavy mist? Do not run. Do not turn away. These are not enemies. They are raw material. They are the lead that can become gold, the darkness that can become light. For true alchemy is not the art of turning metal into gold. It is the sacred process of turning suffering into strength, ignorance into wisdom, darkness into light. And you are the alchemist. Your life is the sacred furnace. Your awareness is the radiant flame, and through this flame, all things can be transformed. Practical exercise, self-transmutation technique, transforming darkness into light. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax, letting go of any tension. Visualize the sacred furnace. Imagine yourself standing before a grand, radiant furnace, its golden flames dancing with a soft, sacred light. Recognize your raw material. What darkness do you carry? Is it fear, anger,
sorrow, doubt?
See this darkness as a heavy, dark metal, a piece of lead held in your hands. Cast it into the sacred flame. See yourself gently placing this dark metal into the radiant furnace. As it touches the flames, it begins to melt, to dissolve, to transform. Whisper your intention, quietly speak. I am the alchemist. I choose to transform. I choose to awaken. See the transformation. The darkness begins to glow, to shine, to become radiant, pure, glowing gold, a warm, quiet light of wisdom, strength, and peace. Embrace the light. As this radiant light grows, see it surrounding you, filling you, shining within you. Whisper gently, I am not the darkness. I am the light that transforms. Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes. Carry this quiet, radiant light within you, knowing that you are not a prisoner of your darkness. You are the alchemist who can transform it. This is your 9th sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to turn suffering into wisdom, darkness into light, and fear into strength. You are not the prisoner of your shadows. You are the alchemist who transforms them. The secret of divine unity. There is a great illusion that haunts the human soul, a whisper that you are alone, a shadow that you are separate, a silent fear that you are a tiny spark lost in an infinite, indifferent universe. But this is a lie, a dream woven by the world of appearances. In truth, you are not alone. You are not separate. You are not a mere drop in an endless ocean. You are the ocean itself, a radiant wave of consciousness, a living spark of the infinite. This is the sacred secret of divine unity, a truth whispered by the ancient adepts
of Hermetic alchemy, a revelation known to the mystics who saw beyond the veil of illusion. But what does this truly mean?
It means that all things are one, that the stars that burn in the heavens are not distant lights but radiant mirrors of the light within you, that the earth beneath your feet is not a dead rock but a living, breathing being that feels your every step, that the rivers, the mountains, the endless dance of creation, each is a part of you, each a reflection of your own soul. This is not a poetic fantasy. It is a sacred law of existence, one that has been whispered through the ages, by the wise, by the mystics, by those who touched the infinite and saw that all things are one. But you have forgotten this. You have been taught to see yourself as a separate being, an isolated soul wandering in a vast, indifferent universe. You have learned to build walls around your heart, to guard your mind, to cling to a name, a body, an identity. You have become a prisoner, not of the world, but of a dream of separation. Yet the ancient adepts knew a truth that the world has forgotten. Separation is an illusion. Unity is the truth. Imagine a radiant golden sun shining in the sky. Its light touches the mountains, dances on the rivers, warms the earth, and yet the sun is not separate from these things. Its light is one, flowing through all, touching all, embracing all. This is the truth of divine unity. You are not a separate being. You are a ray of this great, radiant light, a living spark of the infinite. But how do you awaken to this truth? How do you see beyond the illusion of separation? It begins with awareness, an awakening to the quiet, sacred truth that the world you see is not separate from you, it is you. The stars are not distant, they are the light of your own soul. The earth is not a prison, it is the body of your own being. Yet you have learned to forget this truth. You have become lost in a maze of thoughts, a web of judgments, a storm of desires. You have been taught to see yourself as a name, a body, a mind, an isolated flame in an endless darkness. But this darkness is an illusion, a dream. In truth, you are the light within the darkness. You are the soul that dances within all things, the silent presence that shines within the stars, the quiet breath that moves through the trees, the radiant energy that pulses in the depths of your own heart. But this is not just an idea. It is an experience, a sacred realization that can transform your life. It is the quiet, radiant awakening to the truth that you are not a fragment. You are the whole. You are not a mere part. You are the one life that dances in all things. Take a moment, breathe, feel the quiet pulse of your own heart. Understand that this heartbeat is not yours alone. It is the heartbeat of the universe. The air you breathe is not yours alone. It is the breath of the earth, the whisper of the winds, the song of the ancient forests. But this truth is not just a feeling. It is a living practice. It is the quiet art of seeing the sacred light in all things, the silent practice of touching the infinite in every moment. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself standing on the edge of a vast, radiant ocean, a silent sea of golden light.
Stretching beyond the horizon, this ocean is not separate from you, it is you.
You are a wave rising from its surface, a radiant dance of light that flows, that rises, that falls, and yet never leaves the ocean. This is the truth of divine unity. You are not lost. You are not alone. You are the one life that dances in all things. You are the light that shines in the stars, the warmth that breathes in the earth, the quiet whisper that speaks in the silence of your own soul. But how do you live this truth? How do you awaken to this divine unity in your daily life? It begins with a simple, sacred practice, a practice that awakens you to the silent connection you have with all existence. Practical exercise, unity meditation, awakening, oneness, find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax, letting go of any tension. Visualize the ocean of light. Imagine yourself standing on the edge of a vast, radiant ocean, a sea of golden light that stretches beyond the horizon. This ocean is not separate from you, it is you. Feel the connection. As you stand here, see a gentle wave of light rising from the ocean. This is you, a radiant wave dancing on the surface of the infinite. Yet even as you rise, you are not separate. You are always part of the ocean. Whisper the sacred truth. Gently whisper to yourself, I am one with all things. I am the light that dances in the stars. I am the life that breathes in the earth. I am the soul that shines in all beings. See the radiance in all things. Imagine this golden light expanding, touching the mountains, the rivers, the trees, the sky. Each thing it touches begins to glow, radiant and alive. Embrace the unity. Feel this light within your own heart, glowing softly, quietly. Understand that this light is not separate from the world. It is the same light that shines in all things. Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes. Look around you, not with fear, but with quiet reverence. See the light in all things, the silent whisper of the infinite, the quiet glow of divine unity. This is your 10th sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to transform your life, not by changing the world, but by awakening you to your oneness with it. You are not a stranger in the universe. You are the light that shines within it, the soul that dances through all things. The wisdom of intuition. There is a voice within you, a quiet, silent whisper that speaks not in words but in feelings, in flashes of insight, in quiet knowing that cannot be explained. It is a voice that has been with you from the moment of your birth, a guide, a sacred light that has always shown the way, even when you could not see. This is the voice of intuition, the sacred whisper of your soul. But in a world drowned by noise, you have forgotten how to listen. You have been taught to rely on logic, to cling to reason, to ignore the quiet voice that speaks without words. You have learned to doubt your own feelings, to question your own knowing, to silence the quiet wisdom that rises from within you. Yet the ancient depths of Hermetic alchemy knew a truth that the world has forgotten. Intuition is not a random feeling. It is your soul speaking to you. It is the quiet light of your higher self, a sacred guidance that flows from the depths of your being, a whisper of truth that bypasses the noise of the mind. But how does this work? How can you know something without knowing how you know it? It is because your soul is not bound by time. It is not a prisoner of the five senses. It is a radiant spark of the infinite, a silent witness that sees beyond the surface, that knows without needing to explain. Imagine a vast, radiant ocean beneath the surface of your mind, an endless, silent sea of light that holds the memories of countless lifetimes, the wisdom of the ages, the quiet knowing of your highest self. This is your soul, and intuition is the silent ripple that rises from this sacred sea, an insight, a feeling, a whisper of truth. But in a world of chaos, you have forgotten how to listen. You have been taught to drown your inner voice in the noise of logic, to second-guess your own knowing, to cling to the opinions of others. You have become a stranger to yourself, wandering in search of answers that your soul has always held. Yet the ancient masters knew that true wisdom does not come from books, from teachers, from the endless noise of the world. True wisdom rises from within. It is the silent light of intuition, the quiet whisper of your soul that speaks without words. But how do you awaken this sacred wisdom? How do you learn to trust your intuition in a world that tells you to doubt it? It begins with awareness, an awakening to the quiet truth that your soul is always speaking to you, that you are never alone, that within you is a sacred light that knows even when your mind is lost. Imagine yourself standing in a vast, silent forest, a quiet, sacred grove, bathed in the soft, golden light of dawn. The trees whisper in the breeze, the sunlight dances on the leaves, a gentle mist curls around your feet. This is the realm of your soul, a sacred space where the noise of the world fades, where the quiet voice of intuition can be heard. But to hear this voice, you must become still. You must learn to listen not with your ears, but with your heart. You must quiet the endless chatter of your mind, dissolve the walls of doubt, and allow the silent light of your soul to shine. But this is not always easy. In a world of constant noise, you have been taught to doubt yourself, to ignore the quiet feelings that rise within you, to second-guess the insights that whisper in the silence. You have become a prisoner, not of ignorance, but of doubt. Yet your soul has never stopped speaking. It whispers in your dreams. It rises in your moments of stillness. It shines in the quiet flashes of insight that come without reason. It is the quiet nudge that tells you to take a different path, the silent feeling that something is not right, the radiant sense of peace that comes when you are on the right track. But to awaken this wisdom, you must first become a listener. You must learn to trust the quiet voice within you, to feel without fear, to know without proof, to follow without hesitation. Take a moment, breathe, close your eyes, feel the quiet space within your heart. Know that this is not emptiness, it is a sacred light, a silent wisdom, a radiant guide that has always been with you. But how do you strengthen this voice? How do you transform intuition from a faint whisper into a radiant light that guides your every step? It begins with a sacred practice, a practice of listening, of feeling, of trusting. The ancient adepts knew that intuition is not a random gift. It is a sacred skill, an inner sense that can be strengthened through practice, like a muscle that grows stronger with use. And the more you listen, the more you trust, the brighter this light becomes. But to begin, you must clear the noise. You must learn to silence the doubt, to quiet the endless questions, to open your heart without fear. For the voice of your soul is not a shout, it is a whisper, a quiet light that can only be heard in the silence. Practical exercise. Intuition activation. Practice sharpening. Your inner knowing, find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax, letting go of any tension. Enter the sacred grove. Imagine yourself standing in a vast, radiant forest, a quiet, misty grove bathed in the soft, golden light of dawn. This is the sacred space of your soul. Silence the noise. Gently bring your awareness to your mind. See the endless thoughts, the doubts, the fears. Whisper gently, I release the noise. I embrace the silence. Feel these thoughts dissolve, leaving only a quiet, radiant stillness. Listen without judging. In this stillness, begin to listen, not with your ears, but with your heart. What feelings rise within you? What quiet thoughts drift into your awareness? Do not judge, simply observe. Ask with reverence. Whisper softly, show me the truth I need to know. Allow a quiet question to rise. Something you seek guidance on, then simply listen. Trust the first whisper. Whatever you feel, whatever you see, whatever quiet thought arises, do not doubt. Do not question. Trust it. Your soul speaks without fear, without hesitation. Embrace your inner guide. Whisper gently, I trust my intuition. I trust the voice of my soul. Feel a quiet, radiant light glowing within your heart, a warm, soft glow that shines with quiet wisdom. Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes. Carry this quiet, radiant light within you, knowing that you are never lost, never alone. You are always guided by the silent wisdom of your soul. This is your 11th sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to transform your life by awakening you to the silent wisdom within you. You are not lost in the darkness. You are a soul guided by a quiet, radiant light, a light that knows even when your mind is blind. The sacred light of knowledge, there is a light that shines in the darkness, a quiet, radiant light that has the power to dissolve shadows, to reveal hidden truths, to awaken the soul. This is not the light of the sun, nor the glow of a distant star. It is the light of knowledge, a sacred flame that has the power to transform your life. But what is knowledge? In a world drowning in information, you have been taught to see knowledge as facts, as data, as endless words and theories. You have learned to fill your mind with the noise of opinions, to cling to the thoughts of others, to drown your own voice in a sea of endless distractions. Yet the ancient adepts of Hermetic alchemy knew a secret, a sacred truth that the world
has forgotten. True knowledge is not information. It is illumination. It is not a collection of facts. It is a radiant light that shines within you, a quiet clarity that reveals the hidden truths of your own soul. But how can this be? How can
knowledge be a light? It is because true knowledge is not something you collect. It is something you awaken. It is not a treasure you find in books. It is a radiant light that rises from within you, a sacred wisdom that shines through your soul. Imagine a vast, ancient library, a grand hall filled with countless books, their pages filled with endless words, their covers glowing with a soft, golden light. But as you walk among them, something begins to change. The words on the pages begin to glow, the books begin to whisper, a quiet, radiant light begins to fill the room. This is the light of true knowledge. It is not a mere idea, it is a sacred experience, a silent revelation that rises within you, like the dawn. It is the quiet moment when confusion dissolves, when doubt fades, when a hidden truth shines like a radiant star within your soul. But in a world of noise, you have been taught to ignore this light. You have learned to fill your mind with the thoughts of others, to silence your own inner voice, to drown your own knowing in a sea of endless distractions. Yet the ancient adepts knew that true knowledge is not something that can be given. It is something that must be awakened. It is not found in books, in teachings, in the endless opinions of the world. It is found in the silent depths of your own being, in the quiet light that shines within your own soul. But how do you awaken this light? How do you touch the sacred flame of true knowledge? It begins with stillness, with the quiet, sacred art
of listening, not with your ears, but with your soul. Close your eyes for a moment.
Imagine yourself standing in a grand, ancient temple, a vast hall bathed in soft, golden light. The walls are lined with radiant books, their pages glowing with a quiet, sacred light. But these are not just books. They are mirrors, silent reflections of the wisdom within your own soul. But as you touch one of these books, something begins to change. The pages begin to glow, the words dissolve, and a quiet, radiant light begins to rise from within you, a warm, gentle light that fills the hall, that fills your heart, that shines with a quiet, sacred clarity. This is the light of true knowledge. It is not something you must chase, it is something you must awaken. It is not something you must learn, it is something you must remember. But how do you live this truth? How do you awaken the sacred light of knowledge in your daily life? It begins with awareness, an awakening to the quiet truth that you are. Not an empty vessel, that you are not a seeker lost in the darkness, that within you is a radiant light that has always known. The ancient adepts knew that knowledge is not merely something you collect, it is something you are. It is the silent light that shines within your soul, the quiet wisdom that whispers in your heart, the radiant clarity that rises in your moments of stillness. But you have forgotten this. You have learned to doubt yourself, to cling to the thoughts of others, to drown your own knowing in the endless noise of the world. You have become a prisoner, not of ignorance, but of distraction. Yet your soul has never forgotten. It has always held this light, always whispered this truth, always shone with a quiet, radiant wisdom that cannot be touched by doubt. But how do you touch this light? How do you awaken this sacred knowledge within you? It begins with a simple, sacred practice, a practice of stillness, of listening, of remembering. Imagine yourself standing before a radiant mirror, a vast glowing surface that shines with a quiet golden light. But as you look into this mirror, you do not see your physical form. You see a radiant, glowing light, a sacred light that shines with quiet wisdom, with silent knowledge, with a radiant clarity that cannot be explained. This is your true self. This is the sacred light of knowledge, the quiet knowing that shines within you, even when your mind is lost, even when your heart is troubled, even when the world is filled with noise. But this light is not something you must find, it is something you must uncover. It is the quiet truth that has always been there, waiting for you to remember. But how do you uncover it? How do you touch this sacred light? It begins with stillness, with the quiet art of listening, of feeling, of allowing this light to shine. Practical exercise, knowledge activation practice, awakening, inner wisdom. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax, letting go of any tension. Visualize the sacred mirror. Imagine yourself standing before a vast, radiant mirror, a glowing surface that shines with a quiet, golden light. But as you look, you do not see your physical form. You see a radiant light, a sacred glow that shines from within you. Awaken the light of knowledge. Whisper gently, I am the light of knowledge. I am the wisdom I seek. Feel a quiet, radiant light glowing within your heart, a warm, soft light that shines with a quiet, sacred clarity. Listen in stillness. Do not think. Do not question. Simply feel this light. What thoughts rise? What quiet insights whisper in the silence? What hidden truths begin to shine? Do not judge. Simply allow. Receive sacred insights. Whisper softly, show me the truth I need to know. Allow a quiet question to rise, something you seek guidance on, then simply listen. Trust the light within. Whatever you feel, whatever you see, whatever quiet thought arises, do not doubt. Trust it. Know that this is your soul speaking, your inner light shining. Embrace your wisdom. Whisper gently, I trust the light of knowledge within me. I trust the wisdom of my soul. Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes. Carry this quiet, radiant light within you, knowing that you are not lost in the darkness. You are a radiant soul, a silent light that has always known. This is your 12th sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to transform your life by awakening you to the silent wisdom within you. You are not a seeker lost in the darkness. You are a radiant light that has always known. The key of the initiatory death. There is a door that you fear to open, a door shrouded in darkness, whispered of in shadows, avoided by those who cling to the light. It is the doorway of death, not the end of life, but the end of illusion. This is the sacred truth of the initiatory death, a truth known to the ancient adepts of Hermetic alchemy, a silent passage through which your true self is born. But what is this death? It is not the end of your body. It is not the loss of your soul. It is the death of your false self, the quiet dissolution of the mask you wear, the shattering of the illusions you cling to, the silent surrender of the stories you have told yourself. But you have learned to fear this death. You have been taught to cling to your identity, to guard your name, to protect your image. You have become a prisoner of your own reflection, a prisoner of your thoughts, a prisoner of a self that is not truly you. Yet the ancient masters knew a secret, a sacred truth that the world has forgotten. Before you can awaken to your true
power, you must die to your false self. But what is this false self? It is the mask you wear, the name you cling to, the story you tell yourself, the beliefs you have inherited without question. It is the collection of roles you play, the child, the friend, the lover, the seeker, the achiever. It is the voice
of doubt, the shadow of fear, the endless thoughts that rise and fall within your mind. Yet beneath this mask there is another light, a quiet, radiant flame that has never been touched by fear, that has never been clouded by doubt, that has never been chained by illusion. This is your true self, your eternal soul, the silent presence that has always watched, that has always known, that has always been. But this true self cannot be born until the false self dies. This is the sacred truth of the initiatory death, the silent, radiant death that is not an end, but a beginning. Imagine a vast, ancient temple, a grand hall filled with radiant light, a quiet, sacred space where the air is thick with silence, where the shadows whisper of hidden truths. At the heart of this temple stands an altar, a glowing, radiant flame that dances with a quiet, golden light. This is the sacred fire of transformation, the silent flame of initiatory death. But this flame does not burn your body. It burns away your illusions. It dissolves the masks you wear. It reveals the truth of who you are. But you have been taught to run from this flame. You have learned to hide from the darkness, to fear the shadows, to cling to the safety of the known. You have become a prisoner, not of death, but of your fear of death. Yet the ancient adepts of Hermetic alchemy understood that death is not a curse, it is a doorway. It is not the end, it is the beginning. It is the sacred passage through which the false self falls away and the true self is revealed. But how do you experience this death? How do you let go of your false self? It begins with awareness, with the quiet, sacred art of seeing the mask you wear, the stories you cling to, the shadows you fear. Take a moment. Look within. What do you see? Do you see a name, a face, a story? Do you see a collection of memories, a list of achievements, a web of beliefs? Do you see a person defined by the thoughts they think, the roles they play, the opinions of others? This is the mask. This is the false self. It is not evil, it is simply a shadow, a reflection, a story you have told yourself. But it is not who you are, for beneath this mask there is another light, a quiet, radiant flame that has always watched, that has always known, that has always been. This is your true self, the silent presence that is not defined by your thoughts, not chained by your fears, not hidden by your roles. But this true self cannot be born until the false self dies. And this death is not a tragedy, it is a revelation. But how do you die to the false self? How do you let go of the mask? It begins with a sacred practice, a practice of letting go, of surrendering, of dissolving the illusions that cloud your soul. Imagine yourself standing in a grand, ancient temple, a silent hall bathed in golden light. Before you stands a radiant, glowing flame, a sacred fire that dances with a quiet, golden light. This is the flame of initiatory death. It is not a fire that destroys, it is a fire that reveals. And in this fire, the false self is burned away, and the true self is revealed. But how do you step into this flame? How do you surrender your false self? It begins with a quiet, sacred practice, a symbolic death, a silent surrender, a radiant awakening. Practical exercise, symbolic death, meditation. Releasing your old self, find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax, letting go of any tension. Visualize the sacred temple. Imagine yourself standing in a grand, ancient temple, a vast hall bathed in soft golden light. At the heart of this temple stands a radiant, glowing flame, a sacred fire that dances with a quiet, golden light. Recognize your false self. Gently bring your awareness to your thoughts, your beliefs, your memories, your fears. Whisper softly, "This is the mask I wear. This is the story I cling to." Surrender to the sacred flame. See yourself stepping forward, standing before the radiant fire. Whisper gently, "I release my false self. I surrender my illusions. I embrace the truth of who I am." Enter the flame. As you step into the flame, feel a quiet, warm light surrounding you. But this light does not burn. It reveals. It dissolves the shadows. It melts the mask. It burns away the false self. Awaken your true self. As the shadows fall away, see a quiet, radiant light glowing within you. A warm, golden light that shines with quiet peace, silent strength, and infinite wisdom. Embrace the light. Whisper softly, "I am not the mask. I am the light. I am not the story. I am the soul." Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes. Carry this quiet, radiant light within you, knowing that you are not the false self. You are the silent light that shines beneath. This is your 13th sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to transform your life by awakening you to your true self. You are not the mask you wear, you are the radiant light that shines beneath it. The divine harmony of the spheres. Listen closely. Beneath the noise of the world, beyond the restless whispers of your thoughts, there is a song, a silent, sacred melody that flows through all things. It is a song that has no words, a music that cannot be heard with your ears, but can only be felt with your soul. This is the sacred truth of the divine harmony of the spheres, a truth known to the ancient adepts of Hermetic alchemy. But what is this harmony? It is the quiet dance of the stars, the silent rhythm of the planets, the radiant song of the cosmos, a vast, infinite symphony in which all things are notes, each one singing its own sacred melody, each one part of a greater whole. The ancient masters knew that the universe is not chaos, it is order. It is not a meaningless void, it is a radiant, living harmony. The stars that burn in the heavens, the sun that rises and sets, the moon that dances through her phases, all of these are not mere accidents. They are notes in a grand cosmic symphony, each one singing in perfect harmony with the others. But in a world of noise, you have forgotten this harmony. You have been taught to see life as a struggle, as a storm of chaos, as a series of random events beyond your control. You have learned to fight against the current, to struggle against the flow, to live in disharmony with the sacred rhythm of existence. Yet the ancient adepts knew a secret, a sacred truth that the world has forgotten. When you live in harmony with the cosmic order, you unlock your true power. But what does this mean? It means that you are not separate from the universe. You are a note in this sacred symphony, a radiant spark in this infinite dance. And when you live in harmony with this grand melody, you become part of something greater. You become a living note in the divine song of creation. Imagine yourself standing beneath a vast, star-filled sky, a radiant, endless ocean of light that stretches beyond the horizon. Each star is a note, each planet a chord, each silent beam of light a whisper in the grand symphony of the cosmos. But this is not a distant song. It is a song that sings within you, for you are not a stranger in the universe. You are a part
of it. The light that shines in the stars is the same light that shines in your soul. The rhythm that moves the planets is the same rhythm that pulses in your heart. But in a world of chaos, you have learned to live in disharmony. You have been
taught to chase after desires, to fight against the current, to live in conflict with your own soul. You have become a discordant note, a sound that struggles against the sacred melody of existence. Yet the ancient masters knew that true power is not found in struggle, it is found in surrender. It is found in quieting the noise, in listening to the silent song of the cosmos, in allowing your soul to dance in harmony with the sacred rhythm of life. But how do you do this? How do you awaken to this divine harmony? It begins with awareness, with the quiet, sacred art of listening, not with your ears, but with your soul. Take a moment, close your eyes, breathe. Feel the quiet pulse of your own heart. Understand that this heartbeat is not a mere rhythm, it is a silent echo of the cosmic song. The breath that flows in and out of your lungs is not an empty motion, it is a silent dance, a quiet whisper of the infinite. But this harmony is not just something you hear, it is something you live. It is the quiet art of aligning your thoughts, your emotions, your actions with the sacred flow of life. It is the silent wisdom of knowing when to act and when to be still, when to speak and when to remain silent, when to push forward and when to surrender. Imagine a grand, ancient orchestra, a radiant hall bathed in golden light. Each instrument sings its own melody, each note dances in perfect harmony with the others. The violins whisper with a quiet, radiant light, the drums pulse with a deep, steady rhythm. The flutes dance with a soft, gentle glow. But among them, there is one instrument that struggles. Its strings are tangled, its notes are discordant, its melody fights against the flow. This is the soul that lives in disharmony, a soul that struggles against the sacred rhythm of existence. But this disharmony is not a curse, it is a reminder. A reminder that you are not meant to fight against the song, you are meant to dance within it. But how do you do this? How do you live in harmony with the divine song of the cosmos? It begins with a sacred practice, a practice of quieting the noise, of listening to the silent song, of aligning yourself with the sacred rhythm of life. Practical exercise. Harmonic, alignment, synchronizing with the cosmic. Flow, find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax, letting go of any tension. Visualize the cosmic symphony. Imagine yourself standing in a vast, radiant hall, a grand, ancient orchestra bathed in soft, golden light. Around you, countless instruments sing, a silent, sacred melody that flows through all things. Feel the rhythm. Bring your awareness to your heart. Feel the quiet, steady pulse of your heartbeat, the silent rhythm that sings within you. Whisper gently, I am part of the cosmic symphony. I'm
a note in the divine song.
Align with the flow. Imagine a soft, radiant light flowing through you, gentle, warm, and calm. It flows with the rhythm of your breath, with the pulse of your heart, with the silent dance of the cosmos. Release the struggle. If you feel tension, fear, or restlessness, see it as a discordant note, a sound that struggles against the harmony. Whisper softly, I release the struggle. I surrender to the flow. Embrace the harmony. See yourself becoming part of the radiant symphony, a quiet, glowing note that dances in perfect harmony with the silent song. Feel a sense of peace, of clarity, of quiet joy. Whisper the sacred truth. Quietly speak, I am in harmony with the universe. I am part of the divine song. Return with awareness. When you are ready, open your eyes. Carry this quiet, radiant peace within you, knowing that you are not separate from the cosmos. You are a living note in the divine harmony of existence. This is your 14th sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to transform your life, not through force, but through harmony. You are not lost in chaos. You are a note in the divine symphony, a radiant light that dances in perfect harmony with the sacred song of the cosmos. The alchemy of love. There is a force that binds all things, a silent, radiant energy that dances in the stars, that whispers in the wind, that pulses in the quiet depths of your own soul. It is a force that cannot be seen, yet it is felt in every heartbeat, in every breath, in every moment of quiet wonder. This is the sacred power of love, the highest secret of Hermetic alchemy, the ultimate alchemical fire that transforms the soul into gold. But you have been taught to see love as a feeling, a fleeting emotion that rises and falls, that dances like a flame and fades like a whisper. You have learned to cling to love, to fear its loss, to chase after it in the eyes of others. You have become a prisoner of a shadow, mistaking the reflection for the light. Yet the ancient adepts of Hermetic alchemy knew a secret, a sacred truth that the world has forgotten. Love is not a feeling, it is a force. It is the radiant energy
of creation, the silent light that shines in all things, the quiet warmth that melts the shadows of fear, the sacred fire that transforms the soul. But how is this possible? How can love be a force? It is because love is not something you receive, it
is something you awaken. It is not something that comes and goes. It is something that shines within you, a quiet, radiant light that has always been there. Imagine a vast, ancient temple, a grand hall bathed in soft, golden light. At the heart of this temple burns a radiant, glowing flame, a sacred fire that dances with a warm, golden glow. This is the flame of love, not a fleeting desire, but an eternal light, a quiet, radiant warmth that cannot be touched by fear, that cannot be silenced by darkness. But this flame is not outside of you, it is within you. It is the quiet light
of your own soul, the silent warmth of your own heart, the sacred fire that has always shone, even in your darkest moments. Yet in a world of shadows, you have learned to forget this light. You have been taught to seek love in the eyes of others,
to cling to it, to fear its loss. You have become a prisoner of your own longing, a seeker lost in a maze of mirrors, chasing after a reflection of a light that has always been within you. But the ancient masters knew that true love is not something you seek, it is something you are. It is not something you find, it is something you awaken. It is the quiet, radiant light that shines in your heart, the silent warmth that melts the shadows of fear, the sacred fire that transforms the soul. But how do you touch this
light? How do you awaken the sacred fire of love within you?
It begins with awareness, with the quiet, sacred art of feeling, not with your mind, but with your heart. Take a moment. Breathe. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your heart. Feel the quiet, gentle warmth that pulses within you, the silent light that shines even in the darkness, the quiet warmth that embraces you even when you are lost. But this light is not a feeling, it is a force. It is the sacred fire of love, the silent, radiant energy that transforms darkness into light, fear into courage, sorrow into peace. Yet in a world of shadows, you have learned to fear this light. You have learned to guard your heart, to build walls around your soul, to cling to the illusion of control. You have become a prisoner, not of darkness, but of your own fear of love. But the ancient adepts knew that true power is not found in walls. It is found in openness. True strength is not found in control. It is found in surrender. True love is not something you protect. It is something you allow. But this is not always easy. To love is to be vulnerable. To love is to surrender. To love is to allow the quiet.
Light of your soul to shine even in the darkness. But this is not a weakness, it is a power. For love is not a passive light, it is a radiant, sacred fire that transforms all it touches. Imagine a cold, dark room, a silent, empty space filled
with shadows. But as you step forward, you carry a radiant, glowing candle, a warm, golden flame that dances with a quiet, gentle light. And as this light shines, the darkness begins to melt, the shadows fade, the cold is replaced by a quiet, radiant warmth. This is the power of love. It is the sacred fire that transforms. It is the radiant light that melts the shadows, the quiet warmth that dissolves fear, the silent light that awakens your true self. But this light cannot be touched until you allow it to shine. It cannot be awakened until you open your heart. It cannot be felt until you surrender. But how do you do this? How do you awaken this sacred fire of love within you? It begins with a sacred practice, a practice of feeling, of allowing, of shining. Practical exercise, heart-centered meditation, activating unconditional love. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Allow your body to relax, letting go of any tension. Bring your awareness to your heart. Gently place your hand over your heart. Feel the quiet, gentle warmth that pulses beneath your palm, the silent light that shines within you. Visualize the sacred flame. Imagine a small, radiant flame glowing within your heart, a warm, golden light that shines with a quiet, gentle glow. Allow the light to shine. See this flame growing, expanding, glowing brighter with each breath. It is not a harsh light, it is a gentle, radiant warmth, a quiet, silent love that shines without fear. Whisper the sacred truth. Gently whisper, I am the light of love. I am the warmth that melts fear. I am the quiet fire that transforms. Embrace the warmth. Allow this light to fill your entire being. A quiet, gentle glow that touches every corner of your soul, that melts the shadows of doubt, that dissolves the walls of fear. Expand the light. See this radiant light flowing beyond you, touching those you love, embracing those you fear, shining in the darkness of the world. For true love does not cling, it shines, it radiates, it transforms. Return. With awareness, when you are ready, open your eyes. Carry this quiet, radiant light within you, knowing that you are not a seeker of love. You are a radiant light of love. This is your 15th and final sacred code of Hermetic alchemy, a truth that has the power to transform your life, not through force, but through love. You are not a seeker of love. You are a radiant light of love, a silent flame that shines in the darkness, a quiet warmth that melts the shadows, a sacred fire that transforms all it touches. And with this 15th key, your journey is complete. But this is not the end. It is the beginning. For you have touched the sacred fire within you. You have awakened the radiant light of your soul. You have remembered the silent truth of who you are. You are not a prisoner of darkness. You are not a seeker lost in the shadows. You are the alchemist, the radiant light, the sacred flame, the silent love that transforms all things. Conclusion: awakening your cosmic power. 500 words. You have walked a sacred path, a journey through ancient wisdom, a pilgrimage through the silent halls of Hermetic alchemy. You have touched the radiant light of the soul, awakened to the silent wisdom within you, and stood before the sacred fire of transformation. But this is not the end, it is a beginning. For the 15 ancient codes of Hermetic alchemy are not just words, they are not just ideas, they are living principles, radiant keys that can unlock the hidden depths of your own being. They are silent whispers of wisdom that can transform your life, not through force, but through understanding. These codes are a mirror. They reveal the sacred light that has always shone within you, the quiet strength that has always lived in your heart, the infinite wisdom that has always whispered in your soul. They are a reminder that you are not a prisoner of darkness. You are not a seeker lost in the shadows. You are the alchemist, the radiant light, the silent flame, the sacred soul that dances in the universe. But this wisdom is not something to be worshipped. It is something to be lived. It is not enough to know the codes. You must awaken them. It is not enough to understand the light. You must shine it. So now the choice is yours. Will you return to the shadows, lost in the noise of the world, or will you embrace the light, walk the sacred path, and allow your cosmic power to awaken? Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe. Feel the quiet light within you, the radiant warmth that has always shone, even in your darkest moments. Whisper gently, I am the alchemist. I am the light. I am the sacred flame that transforms. Remember that these codes are not something you must master in a single moment. They are not a race, but a journey.
A journey of quiet awakening, of radiant transformation, of silent sacred light. Begin with a single code. Feel it, live it, allow it to transform you. Then embrace the next and the next until each of these sacred truths becomes a part of your
being, until you no longer seek the light, but become it. This is your path. This is your light. This is your cosmic power. You are not a prisoner of darkness. You are not a seeker lost in the shadows. You are the radiant soul, the silent light, the sacred fire, the cosmic force that shines in all things.